Okay, so in this episode, I want to talk about engaging with your community, and a big part of that is customer service, especially if you're a business. That's going to be an important part of your engagement. So when we talk about engaging community, that means talking to them. A lot of people say, well, isn't email marketing social media? And it really isn't, because social media is a two-way conversation. If you send an email to someone, you're the only one that's talking. So in social media, you want to have a conversation with your fans or your followers. Part of that as a business is customer service. And in this, in the last couple of years, people have really taken to it. They like having the instant access to their business, to the business that they shop with, or that the blog that they read, or what have you. So it's important that at some point you come up with what I call rules of engagement. And what those are is, how are you going to handle customer service problems? You need to be prepared now, because something will happen in the future. Trust me, it does to every single brand out there, and you're not going to be prepared for it. So it's good to have an overall rules of engagement, and this is how we participate. The rules in customer service, the rules of engagement are also for day-to-day engagement. So, often I'm asked, well, how often should I talk to my community? All the time, if you can. If you post a post and someone makes a comment on that post, you should be talking back to them. At the very least, you should be liking their comment. If you're on Twitter, you should be replying back to them, or even retweeting what they said. Sometimes that's really good good advertisement for your company. If someone's saying, hey, just shopped at so-and-so and they were fantastic, love their customer service, that's a great opportunity to retweet people. So you want to come up with, some general rules. So, how you're going to engage with people, how often are you going to do it? I encourage you to do it as often as possible, but also your customer service component of that. So how are you going to handle, complaints? Because trust me, if you're a business and you're on social media, at some point your customers are going to come and say, this didn't work, or I didn't like this, or someone was rude to me, or something like that, and you're going to need to know how to handle it. My best advice is always be upfront and honest, as much as you can be. Never try to hide the fact if you made a mistake. If you made a mistake, own up to it. That goes so much further in social media than you can imagine. If you try to hide your mistakes or deny doing them or what have you, it could come back to bite you in the long run. So I don't recommend that you do that. Be open and honest. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, and in social media, the assumption is that you're talking to a person. So you want to let them know that you are a real person and that you're sorry that the mistake was made, and you want to do what you can to rectify it. Let's say that the mistake really isn't yours and you don't feel like you've done anything wrong. I would never say that in social media. I tried to be a little more diplomatic and say, wow, we're really sorry you had this experience. Can you reach out another way, perhaps by direct message? And we'd like to investigate more, or even email. Also with customer service, oftentimes, not often, but you do see it, people put their phone numbers or their addresses or things like that. And you really want to discourage people from doing that. You always want to have them, if they have an issue with you, to contact you, take it off the channel. So if it's on Facebook, oh my gosh, we're so sorry that you had this experience. Can you please direct message us? And we'll follow up, or send us an email at this email address. Same goes for Twitter. If you know that you've made the mistake, own up to it. People really appreciate that, and I would say the last part of that is to be human. So I don't recommend, when I talk about coming up with some rules of engagement, I don't recommend a cookie cutter like, please write blah blah blah. Be real, be human, empathize with them, You don't have to necessarily admit blame, especially if you don't think you're in the wrong, but definitely don't blow them off or say, well, don't know what to tell you. So, that's just not good customer service in general. So your to-do item for this episode is I want you to sit down and really think about how you're going to engage with your community, how you're going to handle customer service issues, and basically outline that so that you have a good idea that when the time comes, you know what you're going to do.